Hi! Before we begin today's episode, we have a pretty big announcement to make. Big, as in 2.6 billion ringgit big.
1MDB has sparked embezzlement and money laundering investigations across
one of the
at least
biggest
10
corruption
countries.
scandals the world has ever seen.
What may be the biggest financial scam in history.
A number of corrupt 1MDB officials treated this public trust as a personal bank account.
The Najib Razak 1MDB trial will begin soon. It's been said to be the biggest financial scandal the world has ever seen, and we'll be bringing you that on Podcast Daily. So watch this space. And now, on with the show.
After 56 days of trial, the prosecution round of Najib Razak's SRC International trial comes to an end. And after 56 days of sitting in the dock with only his 2 yellow cushions for company, Najib Razak somehow still forgot court etiquette. The former Prime Minister's phone rang in court while his lawyer questioned the final witness, the MACC investigating officer, Rosli Hussain. He had forgotten to put his phone on silent. By the Malaysian Insight, this is The People vs. Najib Razak. Follow us into the courtroom where it all happens. I'm Patrick Teo. Najib Razak arrived in court accompanied only by his bodyguard. He was wearing a bright blue suit with a more muted tie. He hurried to the Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali's courtroom on the 5th floor where the prosecution's final witness took his stand. Najib's lead counsel, Shafi Abdullah, continued his cross-examination of the MACC investigating officer for the SRC case, Rosli Hussain. Shafi asked if Rosli interviewed former ministers who had attended cabinet meetings about government loans to SRC. He had. He took statements from 3 people: former Second Finance Minister Ahmad Husni Hanatsla, former Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Noor Muhammad Yaakob, and Muhyiddin Yassin, who was the then Deputy Prime Minister. The lawyer then asked about how investigations were conducted by the MACC. He put it to Rosli that his investigation papers were inaccurate and incorrect, as lawyers in the agency had gone through and doctored them. The witness denied this. He said he handed the investigation papers directly to Attorney General, then Muhammad Apandi Ali. It did not go through the Deputy Public Prosecutor's Office as it was a special case. Shafi didn't agree with what Rosli said and even told him his recollection was wrong. As the lawyer continued firing questions at Rosli, Najib's phone suddenly started ringing. He'd forgotten to silence his phone. The former PM quickly rejected the call and put it down. Rosli revealed that there were 3 other people that the MACC recommended to be charged besides Najib. They were missing SRC CEO Nik Faisal Arif Kamil, Ihsan Pradana's Managing Director Shamsul Anwar Sulaiman, and its Finance Director Abdul Aziz Ismail. The lawyer then addressed Judge Nazlan, informing him that he was almost done with his cross-examination. At this, Rosli quips, "It's okay, I'm ready to answer whatever I can." Before ending his questioning, Shafi brought up fugitive businessman Low Tek Joe or Joe Low. He, however, mistakenly pronounced his name as J-Lo or Jennifer Lopez, the American celebrity. One is a sun-kissed singer, dancer, actress, and mogul, while the other is what comedian Hassan Minhaj described as a gulab jamun with glasses. Gulab jamun is a round Indian sweet. Shafi quickly corrected himself after realizing his mistake, saying he mistook the businessman for the female singer, prompting laughter in the courtroom. This wasn't the first time the mispronunciation has happened. Back in episode 27, prosecutor Sitambaram made the same mistake, which had also caused the open court to erupt in laughter. If you need a refresher on the SRC trial, go back to episode 1 of this series and listen from the beginning to catch up to speed. In his final question, Shafi put it to Rosalie that his testimony in court was only partially true and that there were times when he lied or stretched the truth. To this, the witness said he had never done so and was honest in his investigation. And with that, the cross-examination of the final prosecution witness ended. Court took a short break and Najib and his aides went to the cafeteria for a cup of coffee. When proceedings resumed, DPP Suhaimi Ibrahim briefly re-examined Rosalie. Suhaimi asked about the signatures of Nick Faisal and SRC directors Subo Muhammad Yassin. Najib's lawyers have maintained that their signatures were forged as they looked too uniform, as if they were copy and pasted. Rosalie said the signatures were never investigated because no complaints were ever lodged. Suhaimi then asked Rosalie why he asserted that Najib had an interest in SRC. This was because Najib had the power to appoint people to important positions in the company. After going through checks and expenses incurred by Najib, Suhaimi wrapped up his questioning. After 6 days on the stand, Rosalie was let go. Attorney General Tommy Thomas formally wrapped up the prosecution round of the SRC trial. On November 11th, Judge Nazlan will decide if Najib will be called to enter his defense. Before proceedings ended, both Tommy and Shafi thanked the judge for sitting through the trial. While the first leg of the SRC trial has concluded, another major case is set to begin tomorrow, Najib Razak's 1MDB trial. We will be bringing that to you on podcast as well, daily. Stay tuned. This podcast is produced, written and mixed by Revati Supramaniam, Yapik Kwan, Yvonne Lim and Ravin Palanisamy. Additional reporting by Timothy Acharya. I'm Patrick Teo.